on the fact that as much as they want to sell the idea of recession, you have a population that is looking around and seeing the fact that they have a new car, their neighbors have a new car, they have money in a savings account which has never been there before. They have Christmas has started early as far as buying things, and with that comes optimism, and with that comes consumer optimism, and with that comes the stock market. And if he gets his rate cut as he's been clamoring for, he might get a real big fucking upswing here. And what is he promising? 10,000 more points on the Dow, and as Roy Wood Jr. said, he was going to cure AIDS and cancer. So I don't know. It's like this is the only thing that I can break this down to at this point. All right, is that whatever this conversation is between Omar, Tlaib, and whatever agenda they're working with, and whoever's funding this and the trip and all of these other ancillary ideas, the fact that everyone's just pointing at each other and yelling, you're an anti-Semite, which, all from the, what would they say, the definition of that would be a people from the Levant region, the Syrians, everybody basically. There were Christians in there, and so they were beefing for thousands of years. And as far as I can tell, when I go and research words back, when you go back to the origin of Semitic as a word, that it was at the ground floor of the pro-Israel movement of establishing a state where Jews could go, that they had a birthright to be there, and that was the late. I want to say that word might have come into existence in somewhere between the 1860s and the 1880s, and then that movement starts, and then now they were already beefing, and now you have they said you had Palestinian nationalists who were against the people who wanted to establish the Israeli state. And they beefed from the late 1800s to like the 1920s. And then I think they beefed all the way into 48 as some other version of the same thing. And then at that point, I believe the state was accomplished. And now, you look at, I'll go and look at a word. And what I love, it's like if you learn Zion is the name of a mountain, okay? It was the name of the Canaanite stronghold that David overthrew. But let's see, in Arabic and in Hebrew, it did reference that it was that it is the name of the mountain, that it is the name of a stronghold, that it has to do with the citadel. And when you go beyond that, it's a offshoot of the word cyan, which it's the seventh letter of the alphabet. And you look at that word, and that word means sword, and it means to arm. And then in the current slang, it means dick and fucking. So, and then at the same time, that same word in Arabic means beauty. So like they're saying the same word, and it fucking means two different things. So how are they ever going to arrive on beyond a miracle on however long they've been beefing? So hopefully just somebody wakes up one day and they're like, oh, it's this blank, and then it's all fixed. How amazing would that be for the world to continue? Let's see. Do I have anything else further to say? No, there was that. No, I think that's it. No, I have no more conspiracy theories. I think that we're about to find out that, perhaps the FISA abuse that has been known for a while is going to be laid bare and impossible not to see. You're going to see that, what else are they going to show you? They're going to lay out how they misused human intel. They're going to show you how how they started paying for information when they knew somebody else was paying for information, and then when they knew the person was being careless with the information, leaking to the media, and beyond just creating shit that didn't exist, then they're like, well, we have to disconnect, this relationship. And then what was the relationship that continued beyond that? So they're gonna show that. And whether or not you believe that the world is what are the four options? It goes boom, the simulation. How are the not the whatever Kurzweil believes in, where the thing just shoots up and you better fucking hang on. The singularity. That's one option. The other one is a continuing. It's fucking great. No, it's not. It's great. No, it's not. And people are like, we're fucking over it. I think the other one was like you like climb, and then it hits a plateau, but the plateau can't sustain itself because there's no visible growth in it. Literally a flat earth. There's no growth in there. And so they've realized that if they can front load angst and depression and violence on a real, at that point, the longer it goes, the shaky the plateau is going to be, and the easier it's going to be to turn it into the third option, which is just a full-on collapse. So those are the four economic possibilities that could happen here in reality. Beyond that, you could have you could have a wobbling of the polls, not the fake polls, the same liars that told us Hillary 98%, 100% guaranteed she was going to win. It was Russia. He's a Russian asset. It was in Trump Tower with the Alpha Bank, with the server, with Don Jr. and Vedeliskaya. And of course, they're hooked up with Putin, and here we go, and it's going to be Mueller time, and then swung on. I don't know, what the fuck did you nerds miss on? The thing you made up and couldn't pin? How am I doing on time? Oh, perfect. Now, anyway, so you tried that, it didn't work. Your credibility's pretty much shot, which is why you see NBC Universal going after the Epic Times. Epic Times, who, where else can you get the forefront of the news, or people who are researching public documents and public testimony and seeing what holes are filled by people's information as it's brought forward and released. And the dots and the picture that they're laying out is pretty well connected and pretty easy to see. That when they pull off this Scooby-Doo mask, everybody's gonna go okay, and there's gonna be like a new, like there was a new 9/11 the next day. This is gonna be like the new okay, and how far did this go? And at that time, you'll probably see a ramp up in mainland China, acting poorly towards the citizens of Hong Kong, while the Democratic Party runs on communism and socialism. As a Hail Mary, perhaps all the vote rigging things that they have yet tried or feel they can still get away with. They don't realize that not only was the vote rigging being watched in 2016, it was really being watched in 2018, and that by the fact that Trump is nodding towards New Hampshire, he knows there was fuckery there. We just found out that there's fuckery in Virginia and Maryland, which makes a lot of sense of why the eyes last month were on Baltimore. And previously in the year, the eyes were on Virginia with the governor and his odd costume choices. So we're going to find out all of that, one slow drip at a time. And again, what's going to happen is we're going to get a fucking meteor. You're going to get a coronal ejection that fucking throws up, it's over. 2-mile foot thing of water. The poles shift. And it's funny that not only the fact that we buy Greenland because it's strategically important as far as where Russia is, but it also would be literally the Green New Deal. So if he really pulls this off, just from that standpoint alone, just from that being able to fucking muddy those waters. And on top of that, and even better, supposedly, if these poles shift the way they have every 12,000 years since they've been counting, Greenland's supposed to end up at the equator. And so could you imagine, you would have, you would have North and South Korea, and you would have East and West Greenland with the United States on one side and Russia on the other. And Wouldn't that be a fun show to watch? All right. God bless America.